Hi, welcome to Office Hours with Stitchcraft Marketing. I'm Laura Cameron, and I'm an account manager at Stitchcraft Marketing. And our office hours, we hold them every 2 weeks. We prepare a short presentation on a topic. Today's topic is virtual vending. We'll talk for 10 to 15 minutes up front about the topic, and then we'll be open to questions. If you would like to attend office hours and you're watching this replay on YouTube, you can find information on how to contact us and sign up for notifications on our website. That link is below. So today's discussion is about how you can vend at a virtual event. A lot of our clients are vending at virtual events these days because in-person events have been canceled. And we've had lots of questions on sort of how to prepare your product and your time and how to present that product to your customer. So a few weeks ago, we wrote a blog post called How to Find the Sweet Spot Product for Your Customer. You can find it at the link below, and I will also place the link in the YouTube video, the description below the YouTube video. And that will go over a lot of what I'm going to cover in the presentation in terms of how to prepare a product that would be great for virtual vending. And then the second part of the presentation is we will talk a little bit about how to take advantage of virtual opportunities, particularly with technology, how to showcase your offerings, and how to sell your product. So the first thing that we started with when we thought about how to build a project for a virtual vending opportunity or for an influencer or sort of a special package is your customer avatar. Basically, this is the buyer persona of who is your customer. What are their demographics? What are their characteristics? What do they really like and enjoy? What problems do they need to solve? What are their hopes and fears? And what kind of a product would delight them? So in this, you sort of have to dig into who your customer is and what they come to you for, and what unique solutions you can provide for them. We do have an exercise on our website about customer avatars, and we have a free worksheet. If you check that out on our website, I will put the link to that below. But if you haven't done a customer avatar, that's sort of the first place to start. Who is your customer and what are they looking for? Next, we talk a little bit about what to include. We're finding, particularly during the pandemic, but really always, project kits that work towards a specific project. So you want to be sure to include enough materials, all the materials to make your project, a pattern and or instructions on how to make that product, any finishing tools, notions, things that you might need. So for instance, if you're making a cardigan with buttons, maybe you include buttons in the project, those kinds of things, so that basically they can buy a project kit and they'll use a few of their tools at home. For instance, they don't always have to include knitting needles or crochet hooks, but you want to include almost all the materials in the kit. You also want to be sure that you include sufficient materials, add a little extra for variation between projects, because it's really a bummer when you get a project kit that doesn't have enough materials to make the finished. It's better if this is a product that only you have. Yes, there are tons of patterns out there that folks can use your supplies to make their projects with, but if this is something that is exclusive to you, something that they cannot get anywhere else, they are more likely to purchase this from you. So think about that. Think about what your strengths are and what products you create that no one else has. One of our clients who does something like this is A Good Yarn Sarasota. They are located in Sarasota, Florida, and they came up with a Pearl Diver series. The yarn store owner's husband is a diver, and he dives in and around Florida and takes pictures of beautiful sea creatures like the one you can see on our slides. And as she gets photos that are sort of unique to their area, she works with indie dyers to create yarns that share those colorways and interpret those colorways. These have become so popular that for a while she had a subscription series, and she has kept a lot of these offerings in her standard lineup. So she always has items from the Pearl Diver series, and it's something that is unique to her shop. So that's kind of the idea of what you're looking for. Packaging. Packaging can be super simple, but you want it to be clean and elegant, and you want it to be pretty, like you're sending your customer a gift. You can see here, we used as an example, Vicki Howell's yarn Yay boxes. She shows project bags, the pattern, the yarn. In this case, she also showed the finished product. Obviously, she's not sending that, but she also includes some scissors. So think about things, the ways in which you can package your project kits so that they look beautiful. They include everything everyone needs, maybe even a special surprise. Maybe those scissors are a little extra that you put in. Think of little extras that will surprise and delight your customer when they open the package. And just, again, keep your presentation fun, like it's a gift. You know, they want to open something fun that they get in the mail. So, and that creates sort of an experience that they can only have with you. And that's what will keep them coming back and purchasing materials from you, is the experience. That's definitely where you can differentiate yourself. Pricing. Obviously, your pricing needs to cover any materials included in the kit, but don't just think about, you know, sort of discounting or bundling items for pricing. Think about that the value that the customer is receiving in comparison to the price paid. You want them to think that they have gotten an excellent value for this kit, but also remember that pricing is indicative of quality. So you do want to price your offerings such that they indicate that it's a quality product that you are selling them and quality materials. We find the sweet spot for kits, meaning really likely to sort of take the plunge and hit the buy it now button, tends to be around $75. Obviously, you can sell things for less or for more, but that seems to be a good price point that people are sort of willing to take the plunge at. Next, we talk a little bit about limited time offers. This has to do with FOMO, which is fear of missing out. People are more likely to make buying decisions more quickly if they think that what you are offering is exclusive or a limited time offer. So try making your offer available in limited quantities or for a limited period of time. Or if you are developing something that you'd like to be part of your standard products or one of your signature items, think about offering a coupon code that would only be useful for a small length of time. For instance, if you are vending at a particular show one weekend, you might design a coupon code that is valid only for a week after that, and you might share the coupon code and make it a special coupon code for those festival participants only. Then you can measure not only how well you're conveying your product and how interested people are in it by how much that coupon code gets used, but you can also keep it a limited time offer that induces them to make a decision a little bit more quickly than they might otherwise. Your coupon code can include anything from free shipping to a percentage off to maybe a free gift with purchase. And again, you're just trying to make it a limited time offer. You'll have to work within your point of sale system to make this happen. And again, like I said, you might want to come up with a specific coupon code for each event that you're attending so you can see where your orders are coming from and which events work best for you. Next, you want to build a product that tells your story. How does this offer fit into your brand? How is it something that you have expertise in? Is it something that you're known for? Something that customers would keep coming back to your store for over and over? You have an opportunity to showcase what you are best at, and so you should do that with this offering. One of the examples that we found recently is the Garden Variety MCAL. That is a mystery knit along. It is being hosted by pattern designer Lisa Ross. And she took inspiration from her garden to design a mystery knit. And then she worked with Miss Babs. And Miss Babs, their colorways are all inspired by nature. So it was a very sort of organic partnership. They were both thematically appropriate for each business. And you can see some of the kits that Miss Babs developed. She developed quite a few, but they are absolutely beautiful and work really well together. So both businesses can collaborate and boost their business. Lisa sells the pattern, and of course Miss Babs sells the yarn kit. So you can think about collaborations or other kits that you could put together to really showcase what it is you're good at or what your brand story is. So now let's move on to a little bit about how to prepare for virtual vending. A lot of what we have heard from clients is that they are given a virtual vending time slot. For instance, we have quite a few clients who have presented at Vogue Knitting Live, where they are given an hour to share their offerings. And an hour is a long time to be talking on screen. And you will have some people who may stick with you for the entire hour, but you'll also probably have customers popping in and out to see what your offerings are. So you need to sort of have a plan for your time. Now, we have talked with a variety of our clients. You may actually plan out enough material, or you may have enough projects and kits to fill an hour in discussing them. If you don't have enough materials to fill an entire hour, don't worry. If you develop a few specific offerings, you can repeat these offerings throughout your presentation to catch new people coming in. You can even phrase it like, for the new people who have joined us, I wanted to let you know about the special offer that we previewed at the beginning of our hour, and then you can talk about the project again and show off the finished sample, the kit, all of those kinds of things. So, but you do want to have a plan for your time, because as I said, an hour is a long time to present, and you'll never be quite sure of how the audience will participate, what questions they'll ask, you know, all of those kinds of things. So you want to have a plan for your time. You also want to pick a place. And I'm from a theater background, so I call that a set. If you have a booth that you usually set up at shows, that may be your set. If you have a grid wall that has projects, if you have mannequins that have finished objects on them, you just want to create a pretty setting in which you can place yourself that showcases your offerings. You also want to have everything that you want to share in easy reach, so you're not fumbling for it, and so that you can move from one offering to another fairly seamlessly. So just think about what's going to be behind you and around you, and what can make your presentation easier. Probably the biggest point I want to make here is you need to familiarize yourself with the technology. That means if you're going to be presenting in a Zoom room, you need to sit down and learn Zoom. I have some links here in the presentations that I will also add to the description box below in YouTube. If you're new to Zoom, you need to learn how to use the control panel. You need to learn how to switch between screens, how to respond to customers in chat, how to admit participants to your room, various things, how to mute participants if you need to. You might be changing between different people and different photo displays. You do need to practice this in advance, and you do need to become familiar with the technology so you know what you're doing. That is also true for Facebook Live or Instagram Live. All of them have training sessions that you can go through, either short YouTube videos or posts that show you exactly where to click and exactly how to control things. So familiarize yourself with your technology. And that leads me to the next topic, which is do a dress rehearsal. Honestly, get into your booth, talk about your offerings, practice with your technology, grab a friend or an employee and get them to help you and give you feedback. Navigate it so that the first time you're navigating it is not the day of the presentation, because that's really hard. You know, just make sure that you're well prepared. It doesn't all have to be scripted, and obviously things will change when you have a live audience in the room, but make sure that you kind of have an idea of where you're going and how you're going to get there. Lastly, I would suggest bringing a friend or an employee with you. Managing a virtual vending room or a Zoom room is really hard if you're by yourself, because you're simultaneously trying to share the products, answer questions that might pop up in the chat, post links to where everyone can purchase these things, add coupon codes or any special information they might need about the offers. It really helps to have at least 2 people, if not more. And my example here is Zen Yarn Garden. They do a lovely job. This was taken from a recent vending session at Vogue Knitting Live, where they have multiple of the company's employees in different places. One is sitting in a room with quite good lighting and is really showing all the yarns off. One has all of the finished projects, so she actually models all of the finished. This is it's for a yarn dyer. Zen Yarn Garden is a yarn dyer. And so one of the employees employees who participates is showing off all of the finished products, modeling the shawls, showing you close-ups of stitch details and those kinds of things. And then one is sort of moderating the chat. She is placing links to all of the products that they're discussing and where you can purchase them, and then also coupon codes periodically throughout the broadcast. So they really have it takes a village, and it's really nice because it moves kind of seamlessly between the different employees, and they're able to either respond to requests for close-ups or provide links or information in chat with more information about the offerings. So that is sort of kind of our nitty-gritty on preparing for a live presentation. And that brings me to questions. In our live session, we did host a variety of questions and answers. And so we talked a little bit about how to format your presentation, and I have included some of those tips and tricks in here. If you are interested in attending office hours in the future, there is a link below to sign up for our newsletter, so you will receive an invitation to future office hours. The next session will be held on October 20th, and that is going to be talking about preparing for Black Friday. We have lots of tried and true tips from past Black Fridays in terms of preparing special offerings and sort of how to approach it. But we also will be putting on our thinking caps and brainstorming some new ideas on how to approach Black Friday this year, since a lot of sales will not be in person. So we hope you'll join us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We're always available to answer those. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm still here.